Ohio State 82, Purdue 74 in a gutting 8-point victory that seemingly will send Jake Diebler and Bruce Thornton to the NCAA tournament for the first time in their careers. Meanwhile, this poses plenty of questions for Purdue, from on the court to off the court to everywhere in between. We're going to discuss a lot in this, and I think full transparency, I'm dreading this one in a million different ways. My personal vibes toward this are about as messy as everybody else's vibes toward all of this right now. So let's see how we get through this one. This is brought to you by Tinker, tinkercoffee.com. Promo code SLEEPERS. Get 15% off your first order of the best coffee in the Midwest. Doesn't even feel like a time for a witty, humorous Tinker joke.
Nope. If you want a recurring order, 25% off. Use promo code SLEEPERS at tinkercoffee.com.
Okay, where do we start here?
Ooh, the winning team.
Okay, let me lay out how this is going to go then. Let me orchestrate. Let me be a what do they call it, a conductor here?
A puppeteer.
This is me to the flute section
A
right now. That
ventriloquist.
is not what they call it. I'm looking at my flutes. I'm looking at my clarinets right now. Like not yet. Not yet. Later. And then we're gonna build. And then we'll get to that. We'll do Ohio State first. We'll do Purdue on court next. And then I think we gotta do all of the noise. And I don't know how we even discuss it, but it's part of this team right now. So we're gonna discuss other stuff later. Christ, I hate this. Bruce Thornton had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in 38 minutes. He was 6 for 9 from the floor. Him and John Mobley both hit the 20-point mark in this game. 41 for Ohio State's backcourt. Another data point in a long line of data points of perimeter stars getting whatever they want against this Purdue defense. What did you see?
Yeah, I just thought that Ohio State, after honestly coming out and getting punched in the mouth a little bit, I believe that Purdue was up 16-8, 16-9 in this basketball game, had some really good looks, some really good baskets early on. It looked like they might, kind of find their way to keep this one rolling, get a bounce back victory. Seemingly Ohio State was able to get really whatever they wanted, to be honest with you. Whatever shot they wanted. They got to the basket at will. They got to the free throw line at will. There's a reason that Ohio State shot 32 free throws to Purdue's 10 free throws. Yes, there might have been some calls here or there that should have went Purdue's way. Honestly, some calls I thought Matt Painter could have easily lost his mind and been like, "Give my guy a call." But the reason that Ohio State shot 32 free throws is because they were the more physical team, the aggressor in this basketball game. And that shows that the fact that they were able to get whatever they wanted from 2 point range. They got downhill. The Purdue guards, wings, whoever was on the perimeter, they got blown by. They got blown by in this game, and it caused guys to foul, or it caused guys in Ohio State to, get whatever shot they wanted from 2 point range, whether it was mid range, open jumpers, drive and dish to guys in this game to finish. There was a lot of that in this basketball game. And like I said, in a game where, you know, Ohio State had a lot on the line in this one. It was like a win and in situation, damn near. And they were the more physical basketball team. And that shows by the way that they were able to get to the free throw line 22 more times. They out rebounded Purdue in this basketball game. If I'm not mistaken, Ohio State is a dog shit rebounding team.
Terrible.
And they're terrible. They're terrible. And you got out rebounded by them.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's credit to Ohio State. I'm not even trying to do that. Like they had their guys step up. Mobley was dog walking whoever was in front of him, whether it was Fletch, CJ, Brady, it didn't matter. They all got it. Bruce Thornton gave it to them all as well. And they had no answer.
Yeah, man. I think there's no way to sugarcoat anything you're about to hear in the next hour. We'll do our best because Lord knows we like to coat things in sugar. Uh, that's kind of a dietary joke, and also I think we're good at content coating things in sugar. We're pretty good at that. I don't know how we do. with any of this because there's like a very harsh reality on basketball things that are broken right now, the defense being the loudest. Then there are some big, bad wolf things going on, seemingly with the mentality of this team and specific players. And then there are, I don't know, it's like which one's more important? Like I feel like maybe rightfully so at this point. There's a loud portion of Purdue fans that are like, this effort stinks. These players don't want it. Rah! And I don't know that I agree with that, but at the same time, I don't know that performances like this are helping that. Because
Hmm.
it did feel like for long stretches of this game, they were losing hustle plays. And at minimum, the less physical team, even if they weren't losing hustle plays, it was this just was an uninspired, flat performance from almost everybody. And I think, Trey is the one guy that felt the most engaged to me, and that was all second half. I mean, Trey felt out of it in the first half, and um, I thought Braden was into it in the first half, and then it flipped and felt like he was out of it in the second half. So I just, at minimum, not on the same page. Nobody on the same page. And the constant here was while Purdue felt like a team that had guys coming in and out and disengaged, Ohio State was just constant. Ohio State was just executing offensively. And when a Jake Diebler team looks like the more connected basketball team, looks like the team that's not having these lapses, what does that say about you? Right? And this is not
Yeah.
easy to have that conversation. And that this falls on everybody. I think Paint said it after the game. He said it's not one guy, it's not two guys, it's everybody right now. Yeah, it is. It is. This is the product as a whole. And ultimately, I think all players share responsibility. I think the leaders share responsibility. I think Matt Painter and the coaching staff share major responsibility for this. Everybody wants to point fingers and find one guy or maybe two guys to blame. There's a lot of people that deserve blame right now around the horn here. Um, and I think the reality here too, man, Thornton and Mobley were good. 41 points. They go 8 for 17 from three combined between them. Got to be completely honest, Cart. I didn't think they played their best game.
You talk about you said Mobley and Thornton?
Mobley and I thought they were good, very good, clearly. But like, dog, we have seen Bruce Thornton have 30-point games in
Right.
this league all the time. Like he only took 9 shot attempts.
Right.
I thought he could have taken 20 shot attempts.
Yeah.
And none of his shot attempts were really disrupted at all. That's the thing. Like Mobley just took wide open threes. Bruce Thornton got 2 feet in the paint whenever he wanted and hit his little turnarounds. Like I know the theme of the Purdue season has been, well, gosh, guys shoot the lights out against us. Why? Because your defense can't guard. They can't
Hmm.
guard. They cannot guard. I don't know if that's effort. I don't know if it's personnel. I don't know if it's scheme. I think it's a mix of all three, man. When every single team comes up against you and picks you apart from the perimeter, it's just reality. So
Yeah.
who is to blame for that? Why does this seemingly happen every game?
Because it's who this team is. It's what they are. They can't get stops. They don't. I don't think they have the personnel to get stops. I don't think they have the want to get stops. I don't think they have the intestinal. What's the word Paint use? Intestinal fortitude. I don't think they have the intestinal fortitude to get stops. And like I said, it shows. It shows. They cannot get stops. And I don't like I just can't stop looking at the fact that this team got out rebounded by Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Greg, it was his name Nagovin.
Yep.
He had 6 rebounds in this basketball game in 19 minutes.
Yep.
Like what? Like it's a Christoph Tilly front court, man.
Yep.
Amari Bynum's a freshman. He's a good one. But like, I mean, uh, that rebounding thing just staring me in the face. And, rebounding in a game like this, to your point, the whole like they don't want it thing, in a game like this against a bad rebounding team, when you are this team, the word effort should be used when it comes to rebounding.
Right.
And it looked like that was the case in this one.
Yeah, Ohio State is
And
at
also just like frustrating defensive breakdowns too. Like a big reason why Ohio State shot 32 free throws in this game is because they broke down defensively. Just like Clough reaching in the wrong spot. The one that also sticks out to me in Dale Jacobson's 4 minutes. He closes out on Christoph Tilly like he's prime Steph Curry. He drives past him, he fouls him. It was just like little moments where you're just out of position, not in the right spot, not staying in front of people, and that causes you to foul them.
right. Right. Yeah. Ohio State, to your point, is an average offensive rebounding team. They're 150th nationally in offensive rebounding, 209th defensively in defensive rebounding. They are just bad or average at best. And they didn't feel that way in this game. They out rebound Purdue by 7 overall. They pulled down 10 offensive rebounds. It was Nigovin, as you mentioned, off the bench with 3, and Devin Royal just had 6. I mean, Devin Royal was, and let's also be real about this. Purdue had to go small because Clough was in foul
Yeah.
trouble.
And yeah, and Devin Royal abused Jack Benter.
Well, but that's Devin Royal was just walking down whoever was there every time. And
Yeah.
sometimes it was Benter, sometimes it was a guard. And I think it's one of those things where this is where I'm so like, I don't want to make excuses for these guys. I don't. They, what outcome do you expect if it's a rebounding drill between Devin Royal and Purdue's guards? And
Yeah.
throw Benter in the group with the guards, fine. It is Devin Royal against Purdue's guards.
Hmm.
You cannot be surprised that he got 6 offensive rebounds in 31 minutes. And that's where we're going to go big picture with this. The sell on this team being so different was so predicated on the 5 spot. Clough is a disaster right now. And Painter straight up said, we can't play Daniel Jacobson. And he's right, by the way. So when you have those two things simultaneously, what do you now have? You have the roster from last year with TKR at the 5, minus your 2 athletes on the wing. Now you're even smaller than you were a year ago. I think there's this whole just refusal to acknowledge this team didn't fundamentally change nearly as much as we all said it did.
Hmm.
It just didn't. It entirely was predicated on Clough being great. Clough's been a nightmare for a month and a half. And I'm not pinning it all on one guy because Lord knows Braden is all over the place in a lot of ways right now. And Trey comes and goes, and Fletcher looked like a liability at parts of this game. But to summarize the basketball parts of this that are going wrong, Clough hasn't been who you said he was at all. He's been a mid-major center who's either in foul trouble, not rebounding, or not scoring every single night. If that's what this is going to be, then your hand is forced into doing things that are going to lead to Devin Royal hitting 6 offensive rebounds because you don't have the personnel to survive that. So, in terms of what can you change basketball-wise, I don't know. You need Clough to be an impact guy, and he's not right now. And now, in previous nights when Clough was struggling, it was let's go to DJ. But you're completely out on the fact that DJ can even play in the Big Ten right now. So what do they do? What are they supposed to do? But you can't do this. You can't be surprised. If
Right.
that's what you have to do, you cannot be surprised that a guy like Devin Royal is punking your guards and Jack Benter.
Right. And that's what it comes down to. Truthfully, that's what it comes down to is that there are there's personnel issues with this team against certain physical profiles, certain teams. And yeah, I think you see that on the defensive end. I think you can see it rebounding against some teams. And like you said, it's predicated on the five spot, being able to kind of hold it down and be an improvement. And you just don't see that. Clough is unplayable in most spots. He was in foul trouble for a reason this game because he's slow footed and he's out of position a lot, and that gets him in foul trouble a lot. And and then your backup option, Daniel Jacobson, I believe he was minus 13 in 4 minutes. You know how incredibly hard that is to do?
Every guy on the bench got torched in plus minus. Omer Jakari included, but DJ in 5 minutes is noticeable.
Yeah, so yes, it is a want and effort thing. It also is a this is what they are thing.
Right. And then for the first time all conference season, your break glass in case of emergency option is your other portal acquisition. Liam Murphy. Good to see ya. Like that's a roster building thing,
Hmm.
right? He spent one of his two portal acquisitions this year on Liam Murphy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how we expect different right now, and I feel stupid for getting duped into it. But like, I thought Clough was better than this, and I thought Clough fundamentally did change this team. He hasn't, and I'm not
Right.
trying to oversimplify or pin one guy for it, but when Clough is on the bench, this team is the same they were last year, minus Colvin and Heidi.
Right. He has an outlier performances. That's what they are. We thought like maybe stack. No, it's outlier performances where he's able to do that.
Right. And we talked about it a month ago. We were like, well, maybe what they need to go do is lean more into small ball and get Trey's offense going again. That'll help this team. If our answer a month ago was what will help this team is going back to last year's plan, probably a pretty clear indicator this roster is not working the way it was intended. And in this game, I don't think they wanted to. I don't think they wanted to go away from Clough. He fouled out because Clough may be the worst perimeter defending big the Big Ten has ever seen. He just can't do it. How many games this season has the story been Oscar Clough can't guard a ball screen? And by the way, they're still trying to hard hedge. Like they're still asking him to do things he can't do. It feels awfully Mick Cronin, Adai Mara-y to me. Why are you making him do something he can't do? I don't know. Like I'm losing my mind on this, but like maybe the answer is he can't do anything. He probably can't play drop either. I don't know at this point, you know?
Yeah, it's a very ominous position
But the
for like.
but bottom line, you thought different. You thought he was different.
Mhm.
And now the reality is he's
I
not.
thought he was different,
I did too.
but
I
he's
mean,
just
shit, he
not.
was different, right? Didn't he? What did he have in the non-con? He had some great games. He had 15 and 15 against Toppin. Like that happened. Fuck, I'd take 10 and 6 that he had against Iowa State right now. That'd be his best game in conference play in like a month.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I know this. If you have to just go away from Clough and Daniel Jacobson also can't play, it's over. Then it's just the formula from last year, and the formula from last year pretty clearly was not good enough, right?
Right. It was we get Clough that helps the rebounding, but also you're getting out rebounded by Ohio State. He fouls out in 19 minutes. You you still have no defense and or rim protection. Guys get downhill at will.
Zero
Anybody
blocks
who
in this
wants
game.
to like.
0 blocks in this game. It's not the first time that's happened to this team in Big Ten play. And yeah, I mean the silly part is you look back on it, revisionist history, of course, but I think we called this out in the moment too. There were people out there that are like, well, just fix our rebounding and it fixes our defense. No, your perimeter defense has stunk for honestly, go back to the Edey years.
Mhm.
I mean, the outside of the year with Lance, perimeter defense has been a huge problem in the Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer era. That's on the scout. So what was your answer? This year's answer in terms of perimeter defense was, well, we think CJ and Jakari are good enough. Jakari was minus 1 million in 13 minutes. I actually thought CJ was really good tonight, and it still felt like you couldn't guard anybody.
Right. Well, because it'd be if here's what if CJ was Jakari, like in Jakari's position, and we had somebody else maybe next to those guys,
Yeah,
maybe somebody over 6'5".
right.
Like, but yeah, Clough and Liam Murphy. Let's bring in more slow people.
And by the way, they get less athletic next year.
Yes.
Look at the recruiting class. They get less athletic than a Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Renn team next year.
Yeah.
Insane. Like, and
Yeah.
that's what Painter seems to want right now.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that needs to be had. Like this, you knew what your backcourt was, you knew what your big three was, and you had a chance. You had the do-over. You had the do-over to build around them in their senior year. And we'll get to those guys too, by the way. They're not getting off here. They're part of this issue. This whole team is a part of the issue, including Matt Painter and staff. So, but your answer was I'm gonna add who I want to add, and it's gonna be guys that are not athletic kind of profile guys, and we'll be okay. And we'll be all right. And like let's call it what it is, man. This roster was built to how do you swallow this or look at this roster while we're also getting comments like, I mean, I don't want a GM. I would have to teach him 37 years of basketball.
Yeah,
It's
Paint's
it's it's
last
inf-
two. Go
it's
ahead.
infuriating, man. Like, come on.
Paint's last two press conferences, we don't need a GM. We'd have to teach him 31 years of basketball knowledge. That's what we already do. Mind you, this is the same guy whose GM moves this summer were Oscar Clough, Liam Murphy, Omer Meyer. Those helped exactly zero of your issues.
Hmm.
Uh, and then this presser, we're going to do some shorts on this, but wow, Bruce Thornton is such a winner. Using Bruce Thornton as the example to shit on your senior class that is partly responsible for multiple banners and a national title appearance. But man, you wish they were about winning as much as Bruce Thornton is.
Yeah. A senior class that could have left you.
And I get there's frustrations at an all-time high. Those are deserved. That is the clarinets that I'm saying wait right now. We're going to do the clarinets before this video ends. We're not running from this. But it's Bruce Thornton. Just because you are 0-3 against him in your peak years does not mean that that guy is a winner more than Trey Kaufman-Renn and Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer. And that's asinine to imply that. And I speak
Right.
on behalf of all of them, not just Braden, but like clearly Paint wanted to stir some shit up with that. That's a decision and that's fine. I just like, have we not lost the plot cart? We wish
Oh, possibly lost.
we wish Braden, Fletcher, and Trey could be winners like Bruce Thornton. And there's segments of the fan base who are like, thanks, Paint. Thanks for saying it. What?
Yeah.
He's one of the all-time biggest losers this sport has ever seen.
Right.
I don't care if he didn't transfer. Like, I just don't. He's the biggest empty stats. I'm about my own scoring, and that's it guy ever.
Hmm.
Ever.
Right.
Ever.
Ever.
I couldn't believe I heard that. And let alone I can't believe it's being embraced as if it's this pivotal season saving moment. Like
Yeah.
you can call your guys out without acting like Bruce Thornton is God's gift to culture. It's insane.
Yeah. It just doesn't add up. That's all it is. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
I'm
I,
confused.
I'm you and me both, brother.
All right, let's
You let me
start.
go.
Let's start to chip away. We've done the five spot as best we can. Daniel Jacobson, despite how bad he was, I got to be completely honest with you. I almost couldn't believe he only got 5 minutes still. I just personally don't. I don't think small ball was working, and I don't think there are other options here. I just don't. If Clough's gonna foul out, I like what? We're really going super duper small? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you do. You're probably going to say you think it was deserved that he only played. I mean, he stunk. He looked he was visibly terrible in this game. But aren't you out of options? Like, should Daniel Jacobson have played more?
No, probably. Like I'm at least throwing my 7 footer out there. Like maybe he snaps out of it. I mean, if you're gonna throw shit, if you're gonna throw Liam Murphy out there for five, like like that just came out of nowhere. Like I get two bigs foul like in foul trouble, but like they pulled that Paint pulled that out of his ass.
Yeah, I just don't know. I almost just couldn't believe it. I mean, Daniel has been benched before. This isn't the first time. He played 5 minutes against Nebraska too. But God, it feels pretty clear that Paint doesn't believe in him very much right now. And I'm not saying long term. Like I'm sure they still think Daniel Jacobson will become souped up Matt Harms one day. I get it. But like this wasn't the development arc that was supposed to happen this year at a program that is great at development.
Hmm.
It's not happening with DJ right now.
Right. So they gotta figure that out. But there was, I mean, even with how bad he was in his minutes, I did think. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't even get in the second half. He
Yeah.
did, right? No, maybe did he?
A minute maybe?
No, maybe a minute. I don't know.
Crazy. All right, let's chip away at the stars. I think I think Trey was probably the best of the three. Is that who you'd say
Mm,
out of Braden,
yeah,
Fletcher, Trey?
yeah.
Finished with 19 and 9. I thought he showed a ton of heart in the second half. Um, again, I hate to oversimplify this, but to me, there's a pretty obvious correlation between good offensive Trey games and just Oscar Clough is out of the way.
Hmm.
It's like every time they take Oscar Clough out, Trey gets whatever he wants and looks like last year Trey. But then you also lose the defensive rebounding. You all the things that made last year's team not work come back with it. So in this game, they tried to make the comeback. I mean, they were down what, four at half, five at half,
Down five. Yeah.
down five at half, quickly down 11. They basically tried to make the whole comeback second half with Trey exclusively at the five. And he scored enough to do it, but I think you saw pretty clearly you're not going to get the stops you need. If TKR is playing the five, you're not going to get stops and rebounds needed to erase an 11-point deficit against anyone, let alone the best teams in this league. So I don't know. What did you make of Trey's performance overall? I think 19 and 9 is great. We should also note he fouled out in 28 minutes too. So he was
Hmm.
playing through foul trouble as much as Clough was, and he showed heart, man. I guess that's where it starts for me, probably.
Yeah, I think that, obviously after a really dismal, I guess it's praising Trey while also being like, this is like Purdue is 5-6 in their last 11 games, and you are on the road against Ohio State and Jake Diebler, who have you not who you like you haven't beaten. Like, isn't Matt Painter undefeated against or not winless against Jake Diebler?
How long's Diebler been there? Has it really only been 3 years?
I think he had the interim.
Yeah, he had the big first win was the interim win, and then last year, yeah, only played once and beat him. So Diebler is 3-0 against Matt Painter.
I got 2-6 from TKR against this front court in the first half in three shot attempts.
Well, that,
And
the
also and also as I watched this too, a big part of it was dog, drop step left. For the love of God, go over your right shoulder. You can still finish with your right hand, but like Devin Royal was standing in the center of the key, asking him to drop step the other way. He just would not do it.
Yeah, I that's the hard part for me. Like Trey, look, I think you could argue nobody on Purdue was overly good except for
Right.
maybe
Well,
shots.
sorry, last thing, even the first half here, because I'm gonna group these two together here. Braden and TKR went 5 for 14 from 2 point range in the first half.
Yeah, it was bad.
They shot 39% from 2 point range in the first half.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I mean, again, Trey, more than anybody else on the team, Trey showed a legitimate fight within him in the second half that I think matters. I think if you're trying to look for how do we salvage this season, man, I would rally around what Trey is doing. Because Trey in the last 4 games has played with this level heart, right? And you think back to that Michigan game, Trey was giving everything he had, leaving it out on the floor and scoring. So again, the problem for me is just I think the way you get the best out of Trey, the most engaged Trey, also requires get Clough out of there, right? Like
Hmm.
I think there's a correspondence between that. And when you were trying to play Trey and Oscar together in the first half, to me, Trey was also very quiet in the first half. Would you say he had 3 and 6?
3 and 6.
And the rebounding's great, but like,
Yeah, the rebounding is great, but I found myself, and I think I was enraged in the first half, but like even it was just drop step the other way. Just
yeah,
that's really all he had to do, and he could have had layups. He still could. He would have been fine to lay it up with his right hand. Still, just Devin Royal checking him. He probably would have been fine, but he didn't want to do it. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. He got blocked at the rim by Nagovin. And then Govan went on the other end and dunked on him. Like, and that's not to take away from his second half at all. Because they went to him and he converted and he was big in cutting it to 10. But I just, it's kind of a lackluster performance coming into this game, knowing what's on the line for the other team, knowing that you are 5-5 before this game in your last 10 games, now 5-6 in your last 11, and that's what we get.
right. Yep. Um, again, 19-9 is objectively a great performance. He only missed 4 shots. You would love to find more scoring production earlier in the game, I think. Set the tone early rather than keep lighting up these second half comeback attempts where you're down and then Trey gets going. But I think it's easier said than done to get him going offensively right now with Clough also on the floor. And I don't know that Matt Painter has the answer for that yet. So at their best, it looks like Nebraska, right? At their best together, it looks like these guys are punking dudes on the boards. But that just hasn't been there. It just has not been there outside of the Nebraska game, really all Big Ten season long. Like these guys are two good individual rebounders who combined have not been elite on the boards, or at bare minimum, it comes and goes. And if you're not getting that from them, it's a bad fit right now. Let's do Braden next. In 35 minutes in this game, he finished with 20 points, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals. It was 20 points on 19 shots. It was far from his most efficient scoring night, although he was Purdue's leading scorer. He finished 3 for 8 from three, finished 7 for 19 overall. As you mentioned, really struggled from inside the arc in this game, including a blown layup late when that kind of felt like the balloon was popped when he missed an open layup with under a minute left, trying to keep it a 2 possession game. Um, 0 rebounds for Braden. One of the only times in his career that that's happened. In fact, let me look this up. That is the only game in his career without a rebound. Played 2 years with Zach Edey and never had a game where he didn't record a rebound. But in this game did. Kind of crazy. Then, mind you, clarinets start to build a little bit. Clarinets. There was a lot of body language stuff here from our guy who we host a show with that we love. But we also cover this honestly, and it's just part of this right now. He had the turnover with Omer where he was pissed. He was yapping at either Trey or Fletcher late on a late turnover that crossed half court. Um, he's clearly really frustrated. And this is just the on the court stuff, right? He's under fire for a lot of off the court stuff right now. So I think you got to call it the whole Braden experience. It's not just 20 points on 19 shots. It's not just 7 assists. It's not just 0 rebounds. It's everything. He's the best player on this team. He's supposed to be the leader of this team. It's everything. What happened here?
Yeah, I just think that as much as anybody on this team, like you got to say what like yes, the scoring was there. Yes, you look at the 20 and 7 to 2 turnovers, not the best, most efficient performance, but like 20 and 7 with 2 turnovers, that's like okay, that's it feels like another game where we're coming out of here like that Braden was okay. Like that wasn't his best stuff, but like he was quote unquote good. But then you have to add in the what the situation is. And the situation is what I've already repeated a bunch of times. This team is like I don't even know what to use. The vibes are bad. It feels like they're in this downfall. And you in that situation, you inherently want to look to your best player. I feel like other teams look to their leader, but I don't know who the leader of this Purdue team is. So they look to their best player, and that is Braden. And like everything you stated before this, those all things range true. Love Braden. Acknowledge his greatness as a college basketball player. His body language was terrible in this basketball game. And that's just is what it is. And now here's the thing. I don't even know if it's intentional. I just think that he is frustrated with either himself or what is going on around him. But here's the thing about it is if you are going to be the point guard, leader, best player, you can't let that frustration show in the way that it shows. You can't have a bad play happen and you immediately look to your teammate like, what's going on? Get on him. And then while that same thing's going on, someone's going down the other end to go get a basket. Like you just can't have those type of situations where you let the bad body language seep out because everyone is looking at you because you are the best player in this basketball team. And like I said, like in the heat of battle in basketball games, like there are frustrating moments, but you have to have a little bit of a sense of I can't let those frustrations come out the way they're coming out, especially given the vibes and the situation. It's kind of not reading the room a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is really complicated for anyone to talk about, let alone us. Let's just be specific about our relationship here and the role in all of this. Um, I like we're friends with him and we work with him to an extent, and it's really hard to come criticize him, but also like I don't know how you watch what's going down, not even on the court, right? Like I'm struggling with this right now. I like in this game he's their leading scorer. He had 7 assists. There's a lot of criticism being thrown Braden's way right now that I think is undeserved. Like you just scroll the timeline, it's like this guy's so selfish. He's only hunting the assist record, which first of all, inherently, how stupid are we? He's so selfish, he passes too much. That's the criticism of his game. He passes so much. What a selfish player. Guys probably hate playing with a guy that passes too much. Like, come on. There are a lot of really pointed criticisms you can levy about anything right now. At least choose the right ones. Like, do you think for 1 second Purdue players don't like playing off of a guy that passes too much? No, I can promise you Fletcher and CJ love playing next to a guy that passes too much. Personality stuff is another conversation, clearly. But like, just that's asinine to me. This idea, oh, he's overpassing. Cart in this game, he took 19 shots.
Hmm.
He led the team in shot attempts by 7, and he's being criticized for overpassing. What? That's the most aggressive for his own offense we've seen all year. Because I
Mhm.
think he felt he needed to. And
Right.
he's yet he's still being killed for it. Like, I've just never really seen this happen to a guy. Now, if I'm trying to like explain it, not say I agree with it at all, but if I'm trying to explain it, I can be honest and sit here and say I understand why there's a big group of people that are ready to villainize him at every turn right now. Right? And I think if we are gonna clarinets, Bill, now it's your time, clarinets. Um, let's just start with us and speak on our own personal part of this. He came to us and said, let's do a show. We said, hell yeah, this is the greatest opportunity ever. I am proud of the show we've built. And right now we haven't talked about our next episode right now. We're not going to put any pressure on him to do one at all. I don't think the pod's a part of any problems with this at all. PJ Thompson came on it and said he listens and loves it. We know Omer listens to it. We've been told that players are like, I don't think there's any issue here. However, let's just put if we're going to be critical, hat on here. Braden knows that when you choose to have a show like that, you are opening yourself up to a lot of eyes and ears, right? I think, is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fundamentally, when a player says, hey, I care about this and I want to go do content, there's going to be a lot of people listening to everything you say and do. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we've established that, he's said a lot of weird things lately. Right? And he's under fire for the Twitch thing, which maybe you can speak on the Twitch thing. I don't watch Twitch. I'm not a Twitch guy.
Yeah, I mean, you want me to do right now?
Sure.
Someone in a Twitch chat called him broke and said, tell him to get a job. And he said, I'm not broke. I don't know. Like if that's the reason that you want to sit Braden Smith, like I I don't really get it. Because that same I don't really I don't understand what the angle is here. What do y'all want? What do y'all want him to do? Like, do you want to sit him? Do you want him gone? Like, what do you, are you just complaining into a void? What's like, do we want, is this team better? It's like, 'cause that's what it seems like. Y'all want to move on. This team is better without Braden Smith. And that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And if
Right.
the reason for that is because someone in a Twitch chat, which by the way, like I'm on Twitch all the time, those chats are foul. If you want to get on something here, like maybe you don't want your player on Twitch. Also, newsflash, 22-year-old plays video games on Twitch.
Right.
Kids look up to streamers nowadays. It is what it is. Now, you could also be critical of it, like maybe don't say that. Maybe don't say that. But to crucify him because he responded to somebody talking shit to him, and your shit talking point guard talk shit back, like that being like a whole like blow it up revelation thing is asinine to me. But optically, I could see how some could be like, oh my God,
Well,
no.
here's the thing. I just don't think he cares about optics. And I say that as someone who we do a show with him. I think we knew when we signed up for a show there were going to be people mad at the optics, right? There were. Before anything happened, before this team started 17-1.
Hmm.
Braden was going on Twitch and doing a pod every single week at 17-1. Like the reality that those things are connected to this team's downfall in any way is not true. But it is the optics. And I guess that takes me back to the point I'm trying to make here. Again, he's a friend, but like when you sign up to do these things, or not even sign up, right? Let's go away from the pot. When you just put yourself online, which Braden clearly does. He likes being online. He likes playing all these things. People are listening and people are waiting for you to say something foul, do something wrong that reflects poorly on your leadership. And like it or not, I think anything he's ever said on our show with him is available to be scrutinized. I think the Twitch thing this week clearly went viral and is being scrutinized. Then, this game ends, you lose the game. He does the Iverson thing, which I believe that's now been deleted. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
So there's just a lot. There's a lot of things going on here right now. And it's not helping optically. Now, I don't think Braden cares, right? And I can only speak for myself in this role. You and I may feel differently. At the end of the day, what I care most about is Braden Smith, the person. I'm here for him. I could give a damn about his optics, but also like as his friend, I'd probably tell him like, yo, maybe you should care about the optics a little more. And if there's any, I just straight up, let me make this abundantly clear. If there's any negativity affecting his life right now that's coming from us playing a small role in that, I hate myself for that.
Mhm.
I'm devastated if we have contributed to any of this scrutiny for him. I think we've tried to be as responsible as possible with it. And we're just in a tough spot right now because the optics are what they are. And I don't know what he meant by the Iverson thing. I certainly don't want to come on Running Point and ask him what he meant right now. I just want everyone to take a deep breath, I guess. But also, let's be real, just the choices he's making right now are not leading to anyone taking a deep breath. They are
Right.
leading to intense scrutiny from his own fans. And I don't know why we're going that path.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense to me, right? Like maybe not the best, right? Maybe you would if like that's not the way to go about it. But there's also a little bit part of me, a tiny bit of part of me that is like I would be frustrated if I was treated the way I'm being treated, whether it's earned or not, and it would eventually get to me. And maybe there is a breaking point where I'm like, you know what, and that's what I'm saying. If we played a part in it getting to that point, I do actually generally feel awful about that because I don't want to get to that point. That was the main goal of all this is to podcast with a friend because he reached out to us and that's what we wanted to do. That the main goal was not get information. The main goal was not to do anything. The main goal was not to do what Zach Edey's left shoe 929 said and sabotage the season from the inside out. It was to put him in the best light. And that's what we wanted to do. And given how the season has played out, obviously I don't think it is doing that. And that sucks. But like I feel like a part of me is too like some of the shit he has to go through.
For sure.
With like, you know what I'm saying? Like they lost that one game and we're hearing things that he can't even walk outside his place on campus.
For
That's
sure.
crazy. That's
Well,
crazy. So it's both ways.
well, that was early in the year too, right? So I want to make it extremely clear. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like
And
I,
I want to make it very clear. I agree with you.
well, that's like we're just trying to honestly cover this and find our place in the middle of it all. I don't want to be in the middle of any of this. This sucks. But like at the end of the day, I have a love and appreciation for him, the person, more than whatever else the rest of this is. And as someone who has a love and appreciation for him, I feel really bad for him, and I also understand why he's getting all this stuff when you watch the body language and you watch what he's doing. And
Yeah, it is like, it's okay, this is gonna be a bad attempt at a metaphor. I damn near want to call you before I make this metaphor.
just make the metaphor.
Okay. Jeremy Fears Jr.
Oh God.
is in the news because of tripping, because of dirty basketball plays. That inherently puts him in a microscope for the next games. where I'm like, you know what? I would go the extra mile if I'm Jeremy Fears to avoid situations like that. I feel like Braden does notice the outside noise. I feel like he notices the microscope he's under. I would go the extra mile to make sure that my body language is correct. I'm doing the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm under that microscope. I wouldn't, every step that I would take would be a little bit more calculated. Now, that's probably dumb to say from my point of view because we also, at the same time, this is the thing. Newsflash to everyone else too. Frustrated Braden also gets you results. I seen frustrated Braden turn that into F you, I'm gonna win this game. But it's in the microscope of like you are you need to be a leader right there. It is optically, once again the word optically. It's optically bad that those frustrations are leaking out towards your teammates while this is happening, you're losing games.
Right. And to your point, flip side correlation. The moments of brilliance that have been the highest for Braden's career have been fueled by petty, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong.
Hmm.
So there is still a time and an ability here for him to flip all of this and use all of this scrutiny that he is getting from everywhere, from rivals, from the internet, from now, shit, I feel like I'm scrutinizing him right now, and I'm his friend, and from his own fans and from his own coach, right? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's got a thought on him right now, and he's set it up for that to be the case. Um,
Now I'm mad again.
Well, ultimately, it's gonna be
Well,
remembered by how he flips it, and I hope he flips it. I'm rooting
well,
for him
now,
to flip it.
okay, me too. Also, now I'm mad again.
The paint part of this,
Yeah, because like all this is going on, I got golden retrievers and American flags left and right telling me how ass I am that I'm cussing on Twitch, and every single media member too on me and scrutinizing me. It'd be nice if my coach went to the podium and didn't big up Bruce Thornton, who has never made a tournament, and also told me to be more like Robbie Hummel.
well, I think you could almost pick two buckets here and put one bucket of like reasonable criticism, right? I think I've laid out what the reasonable criticisms could be here, but like, hey, it's stuff that we've seen throughout his career. Sometimes his body language isn't great. Putting that lightly. Sometimes, I don't know, he had short answers in the presser, right? Like people wanting him to do leadership things that just aren't necessarily there. Um, the overly social media element, and even if people want to criticize the pod, I disagree fundamentally with it. I think it's stupid, but I also at least understand it. I understand optically why someone would be upset about that given how this season has gone. Whatever. Then there's like the shit that is driving me crazy that is super unfair criticism of this kid. Like, oh, he doesn't want it. Bullshit. If anything, like him wanting it is part of the problem here. He's so overly competitive that his body language is shit when they start losing, and it's driving him insane. Um, I think the super unfair criticism, oh, he's playing selfish, hunting the assist record. That's asinine. Asinine. He's literally the most unselfish passer the sport has seen in my 32 years of existence, and he's being called selfish by his own fans for that. That's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Cart like criticism that his teammates don't like him or something. I'm not going to pretend to know, but I will provide you some data points. This whole Twitch stream that everyone's mad at him for, his teammates were on it, right? He's not alone. He's not going rogue on this stuff. Him and Fletch do this together. Lance Jones is like in the locker room all the time with these guys doing this. Like these guys like each other. That's not the problem here.
Oh, wait, no, Greg, you're on it. Okay. Wait, no, 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 no. Let's hone that. Hone that because
I have more that's unfair criticism of him right now I need to get to. I'm
okay, go,
sorry.
go, 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 go.
Paint trying to act like Bruce Thornton's a greater winner than him. Nonsense. Are you not appreciative of what one of the best point guards ever has ever done for you? Um, okay. Yeah, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Did you hear that we got called out and thrown under the bus a little bit?
No.
We weren't named by name because I'm pretty sure he'll never name us by name. That's his prerogative. But our guy who we tell everyone go read goldandblack.com, Brian Newbert. He doesn't like us, but we just do our best to encourage people to read him at every possible turn. He had I think he called it a manifesto this weekend where he shared some thoughts, paywalled.
Good word
Yeah.
choice.
In that sense, he alluded to this. He said, it's a surprising optic to see Purdue lose at Indiana and then see its best player signing autographs. It's also surprising, at least historically, for a player to do a podcast during the season. For that reason alone, I was surprised his agent signed off on it. But point is, Braden has a lot going on outside of basketball. Later in this, this is the example he uses, Cart. He says, something tells me Yaxel Lendeberg is not signing autographs at grocery stores during the season. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight from Purdue Insiders. We need Braden to be the leader that Yaxel Lendeberg is. Like, dog, we have lost the plot. He's being criticized by important voices within this program for showing up to sign autographs for children after a loss.
Wait, Greg, by the way, in 2026 in the NIL era.
As if it's a bad thing to teach children that when life doesn't go your way, you still show up and be a good person. That's what we're critical of this kid right now. Mm-hmm. Mind you, these are the same fans and writers who gave Zach Edey flowers for never passing up on signing an autograph. And Edey was a great teammate. He's a winner. Maybe the part of this we're missing is that Braden didn't lead his team to enough wins for this fan base and these writers to embrace him the way they want to. But it's gone a weird personal level for me that I'm uncomfortable with. When we're saying he's not the leader that Yaxel is, who is, to be clear, on behalf of my favorite team, one of the worst leaders ever. It's lost the play. It's like everyone involved here just wants there to be so many reasons why this guy isn't the guy. And now I am at the point where I'm defending my friend. I think you can criticize the right things here, the wrong decisions he's making maybe, without going the extra mile to the wrong things that make no sense. Because there's a lot of criticisms of this guy that make no sense right now. And my babysitter just texted me and asked me if I'm okay. I'm not okay, man. I am not okay right now. It's crazy what's going on here.
Yeah, and the point that I was gonna make as you were going through that, which I agree with all those points. Like, are you like, is that what we're really doing? Is that what we're really doing? Also, newsflash, you want to know who else was signing autographs and doing events to that? Fletcher Lawyer. Other people on this Purdue team. It's NIL basketball. It's NIL basketball. You sign autographs, you go do CVS things, you hand out things. The best team in the country. I went to their IGs the other day. Merez was serving pizza and Yaxel was at your local Kava. Like this was the same dude who y'all posted a video of him in a bar and over a 21 establishment yelling F you. That's the guy. We want our guy to be that guy. Now it's we want our guy to be that guy.
Yaxel would never sign autographs for kids after a loss. Maybe because they wouldn't lose. Like maybe that's the only reason. But like,
yeah, true. Also, and this is to defend us, but I'll do this. One of the best teams in the country these past 2 years podcasts every single week. Tune into Duke Blue Devils Brotherhood podcast. And they got back-to-back National Player of the Years.
right.
Now maybe it's because Caleb Foster's the host, but also like the point guard, the scapegoat, is the host for their podcast.
I just like, and by the way, I am positive the writer of this has never listened to the show. I'm sure he just knows there's a show and hates that it's with who it's with. if you've listened to the show, I don't think there's much you can pick apart that paints him in a negative light. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Carl. We've done 12 episodes over the course of this year. Anytime Purdue's been in a negative spot, we've avoided recording to avoid any negative spotlight. And more importantly, when Braden's on by his own choosing, he's complimentary of his teammates 100% of the time. If he's used the show for anything, it's literally just to put love on everyone else on the team and the coaches and his experience at Purdue. Like it genuinely, my only goal with it has been to create it as a beacon for good. I'm proud of the way we've tried to approach that. And it's pretty clear the results on the court and the way he is currently personally at wherever he's at, it's not in a spot we can help with that right now, I don't think. I wish it wasn't so. I don't know. Like, dog, he texts us today and says, I want to do an episode. We'll do an episode and we'll help him navigate that. But also, like, we're letting it breathe. I'm letting it breathe right now because I don't want to be a part of any of the possible reasons people can criticize the best passer in Big Ten history for being selfish and a distraction. And I really think when you try to step back and broadly look at all of it, we've just lost the plot, man. We have lost the plot. We are looking for someone to blame for all of this. And there are small things I think are worthy of criticism. I'd rather keep them basketball related. But the basketball related criticisms right now are missing the mark anyway. He's selfish because he's not shooting enough in a game where he took 19 shots. I don't know where it goes. Again, I think if you're a Purdue fan, you've got to just be hoping that this fuels him and the part of his personality that has made him great at times, the prove everybody wrong thing, hits home in a big way in the NCAA tournament. But it's gone from proving the haters wrong.
But that's what it is. This is not good. It shouldn't be it should be everyone else. Like he should be proving it used to be this fan base and Braden like, oh, they think he's just small. Oh, they think he's a Zach Edey merchant. Now the people who support him and show up in Mackey think that. So now our we want our PG to play better to spite his own fans. That should work out really well. I've always seen that be a great indicator of make a run.
It's a twisted place to be. And listen, when Zach Edey left, non-Purdue fan haters, the big criticism was, well, just wait till Edey's gone, then watch what happens. And I think for the better part of a year and a half, we've been like, look how foolish they were. Braden became a National Player of the Year candidate. They're still as good as ever. Also, the reality is these last 2 years have not been as good as when Edey was here. But I digress.
Yeah. But I mean, Braden was first team All-American last year. Kuzi,
Yeah.
Big Ten Player of the Year. It was like, oh, now we need to get, you know what I'm saying? Let's not put a doctor at center.
Well, so
And then Payne put Oscar Clough.
Edey leaves and there's a first team All-American there. And the product is still not good enough to the point the fans hate their own first team All-American. And now those fans are saying, just wait until first team All-American's gone. Good luck, y'all.
Best of luck.
Good luck. If that's what this is going to be down the stretch, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And again, I'm not saying he hasn't brought this on himself to an extent. I'm very confused by the Iverson decision. Clearly, the fact that he deleted that seems like he gets that probably wasn't the right move. I just also, like, I get a lot of people's answer to this just seems like, hey, go zero dark 30 mode, delete social media, stop doing the pod, stop doing all these things. Again, loud, important voices of this program, like Brian, are using signing autographs as a reason he's not the leader this team needs. Man, at a certain point on a human level, the ability to show up when things aren't going your way and not let it change you as a person is one of the ultimate signs of maturity. And again, I'm not saying he hasn't made mistakes, but I think Kevin Sweeney tweeted it in their first losing streak earlier this year, man, right? It was like, this is pretty unprecedented access to a player whose team is going through it. And if you listen to that episode, Braden didn't say anything bad or get in trouble. He just gave everyone what it's like to be in these shoes. There's a more supportive version of the world that just didn't look for every reason to crucify this guy. And I am ashamed that I feel like I'm part of it. It's really like on a personal level, it's kind of broken me to watch this season go on and feel like I've had a hand in it, even though we've tried to do everything possible to not let that happen, you know?
Yeah. It's yeah, and with all this said, with all this said, with all this said, this team can still be dangerous. They can still do something in March. I don't know what it is. Like I is it Final Four? I don't really think so, but who knows? Um, but they have to get the vibes right.
Yeah. And that ultimately, if we let's just this is real. The vibes are on Braden. The
Mhm.
vibes of this team for the remainder of the year are going to fall on the responsibility of the best player here. Who,
It's
if I
always on Braden.
and if I could just analyze this in my own honest terms, I it's going to test his interest and ability in leading, right? But and he's a guy who's self-proclaimed he needs to grow there. I mean, like his words to us, I know I'm not the best leader. Like Fletcher has been the vocal leader of this team for a reason. And I think that's like if I could pinpoint in one sentence why our tension's so high from everywhere right now, that's the sentence. It's people want Braden to be a leader that he hasn't, for whatever reason, been able to deliver on. And I think he leads by example. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe this particular team needs a leader that does more than by example, you know?
Or if here we go though, full circle. If you're gonna lead by example, then your body language is important.
Body language is important, and what you do off the court is important. Like all this shit is important. And at minimum, it's bringing a bunch of negativity toward this group as a whole, and certainly him. So,
Especially because this group is. Can we talk about the group?
well, that's the fact that we just
Can we
had.
talk about the Can we talk about the group? Because this is where I think everything we said is correct, but I also hate that everyone just gets a go by because you know what? Fletch doesn't do anything. Fletch is just Fletch, and no one else is online on this team, and no one else talks to the media, and TKR goes on darkness retreats, and he's just like Clough had 2 and 5.
Yeah, we're doing 35 minutes on.
Maybe he should stream.
We're
Honestly, I would like everyone else to stream. I think Liam, Daniel Jacobson, Benter, Meyer, Jakari all get on the screen.
they might have. They,
Jakari told you 2 and 1.
yeah, I'm gonna eat my words on all that. The supporting cast is not good enough. In this game, they were total no-shows. Jakari, Omer, and Daniel were all minus double digits in 20, I think 31 combined minutes. Benter was getting abused on the boards. So yeah, I don't know, but it kind of does give you where is this team at? Where are tensions at? When like there's a lot of broken basketball related things that have nothing to do with Braden, but Braden's giving people a lot of ammo for other things to be the story here. So, can I just close by saying this just for a second?
Jake Deaver breaks people, man. I won and I had a players only meeting.
Somehow this is gonna turn into shit for me, which is I'm like ashamed that this is how the world works right now, or this
Maybe
fan
you
base works.
should you not do it?
No, because I just want it known and I want it on record. Like Braden, I have love for you, man. Like and I'll get clowned for that. Like, oh, he doesn't even know who you are, or whatever. Like there are so many people condemning everything right now. And we've just done our best to be honest about it all. But at the end of the day, like I hope people do appreciate the basketball player this guy has been and the sacrifices he has made. Right? He is at Purdue at a massive discount, and he's being villainized as if he's one of the worst leaders in this
Right.
program's history.
All he cares about is money. Hey, can I let y'all in on something? If all he cared about was money, he wouldn't be with y'all. He would not.
And the way this is all being covered and received is making it infinitely harder on ever getting a player that good again in the NIL era. Because this is how it's changed. All the best players care about money. Like this isn't when what oh Robbie Hummel never would have done this. Yeah, Internet Explorer didn't even exist when Robbie Hummel played. Like I'm just it's lost. It's totally lost for me. So if we can conclude this, Braden, I got love for you, man. I am rooting for you. And I think the more people who could somehow make you feel that, the better, you know?
Yeah. Also, like, I don't want to see this group of Purdue seniors go out like this either.
No.
Like, I get, and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, you see an MSU fan." Yes, I was happy that my team beat Purdue. Sue me. But at the same time, I don't want to see these boys go out like this.
No.
This is no
Okay,
way for them to go out. This dog, I saw like it was. There's people talking about I'm selling my senior day tickets. That's crazy for this group, man.
right.
For this group, these three guys.
Right.
It's crazy that and I get it. They do need to strap their nuts and get a stop. Also, they might not be able to.
Right.
They might not be able to.
Right.
But what do we know? We
Right.
don't. We need to be taught 37 years.
Right. Okay.
Good God, Jake! Congrats to Jake Diebler.
Yeah.
I'm mad at Purdue because they let them in the tournament. Now I got to watch that.
I mean, in peak Matt Painter career years, in terms of talent and on-court stuff assembled, he's 0-3 versus Jake Diebler and 500 against Mike Woodson. I've called this the Purdue era, and he's 0-3 against Jake Diebler.
Maybe Paint was being truthful about Bruce Thornton because you think about it in 3 games, like maybe he doesn't watch Ohio State outside of this.
I am not even a spiritual human being very much right now. I prayed last night that this gets better for all involved. I really did. You know what helps here? Watch this.
What? A strobe light.
Now it's just fun. A strobe light puts everything into perspective, doesn't it?
Ooh, a defensive stop.
Ooh. Deep breaths, everyone. Yikes.